Welcome back. Today, we're going to tear into your strategic playbook for 2025. We're going to cut right through all the noise and give you a super clear look at the big tech shifts that are about to jump from the lab into the real world. All right, let's get right into it.
So, the big theme for next year is really simple. The hype is over. It's done. Now the era of execution begins. All those technologies that have felt like they've been just around the corner for years, well, they're finally hitting a real, practical inflection point. This isn't about just experimenting anymore. It's all about applying these tools to solve honest-to-goodness business problems.
Okay, so if you want to get ahead, you've got to make the right bets. We're going to focus on 4 key technological paths. These are the ones your business absolutely has to be watching and, more importantly, planning for right now.
First up, let's talk extended reality, or XR. And look, forget the consumer hype for just a second. The real action, the real opportunity, is in making XR business grade. Yeah, the hardware market might look a little bumpy, but the strategic play here is to plan for practical, mixed reality workflows. We're talking things like remote assistance for your field techs or truly immersive training for really complex tasks.
You know, hardware cycles are always a bit of a roller coaster. And yeah, analysts are expecting a little dip in shipments for 2025. But here's the key. Look at that powerful rebound they're projecting for 2026 and beyond. So what does that mean for you? It means 2025 isn't the year to sit on your hands. It's the year you've got to prepare your content and your infrastructure so you're ready to catch that wave.
So, what should you be doing right now? Let's get tactical. Focus on 2 main areas, content and infrastructure. Start by mapping out a content backlog for your most common field tasks. At the same time, pilot some see what I see remote support and actually measure the impact. And on the back end, get your budget ready for a 2026 device refresh and make sure your tech stack is portable. You do not want to get locked into a single vendor. Next up, let's dive into digital twins. These things are evolving so fast. They're moving way beyond just being simple 3D pictures. In 2025, the big strategic move is to stop treating your digital twin like a one-off project and start treating it like a core operational platform, something that layers in data, APIs, and simulation to actually drive your business forward.
And this isn't some pie-in-the-sky trend for the future. The urgency is real. Get this. Nearly 29% of manufacturers are already implementing digital twin strategies. Think about that. The competitive pressure is seriously building, and if you're not on this path, well, you really do risk being left behind.
So your do now actions here are all about starting smart. First things first, build a foundation that can actually scale. That means standardizing your data and using APIs. Then, hey, don't try to boil the ocean. Pick one single, high-impact use case to prove the value quickly. And make sure, from day one, that you are tracking real business metrics like safety and throughput to show that ROI.
Our third big bet is AI at the edge. You know, for years, AI meant sending all your data up to the cloud. Well, that's changing, and it's changing fast. The need for real-time processing for things like quality control and the growing importance of data privacy are pushing AI workloads out of the cloud and directly onto devices at the edge. This is becoming the new normal, not the exception.
To get ready for this, your strategy really needs 3 parts. First, pick the right battles. Prioritize the use cases where latency is a killer. Second, you got to build a standardized tech stack so you can manage all these devices remotely. And third, and this is crucial, build in risk management right at the device level to make sure your models stay accurate and reliable out in the wild.
And our fourth bet, this one might surprise you a little bit. Foldable phones. I know, but it's time to stop thinking of them as just a cool consumer gadget and start seeing them as a serious enterprise tool. For certain field tasks, having that larger screen canvas can be a massive productivity driver. We're talking about a phone that can become a viable tablet replacement on the fly.
The key decision here, especially for IT leaders, really comes down to this: a total cost of ownership showdown. On one side, you've got a single foldable device. Yeah, higher upfront cost, but with huge potential for faster work. On the other side, you've got the classic tablet and phone combo, 2 different devices to buy, secure, and manage. The math on which one is better isn't always as obvious as you might think.
So your immediate actions here are pretty straightforward. Run an evaluation. Pilot these devices with tasks that really need a big screen. Test them for real-world durability. Really test them. And then run the numbers. Do the TCO comparison against your current setup. See what makes sense for your teams.
Okay, so we've just covered the 4 big bets. Now, let's switch gears and look at the foundational playbook that actually makes them all possible. This is your 12-month action plan for pragmatic, real-world readiness.
This whole playbook really boils down to 6 essential steps. They build on each other, from getting your data right all the way through to adoption. Let's just walk through this roadmap real quick. Okay, so let's see how this all connects. It all starts with unifying your data. That's step 1, the absolute foundation. Once your data is in order, then you can build a 3D fabric to make it useful for things like XR. With that in place, you can then industrialize your edge and your AI operations. Of course, you have to secure this whole thing from end to end. And finally, none of it matters without successful adoption, right? Which means focusing on your people and proving the value really quickly.
Now, making these bets and building this foundation is great, but it has to pay off. It has to. So let's talk about the path to ROI, how you actually measure the benefits and proactively manage all the risks that are going to pop up.
The benefits here are tangible, and you can absolutely measure them. Each one of these technologies ties directly to hard metrics, whether it's improving efficiency with XR and foldables, boosting throughput with digital twins, or saving resources with Edge AI. These are the kinds of numbers you can literally take to the bank.
But you've got to balance those benefits with risk. Proactive controls are absolutely critical, and this means managing risk at every single level. In your AI models, in your physical operations, use simulations for that, in your vendor relationships by staying open, and maybe most importantly, with your people, by managing change fatigue.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this one single question to take back to your teams. I want you to look at your own organization and honestly ask, which single capability? Is it your data foundations, your 3D assets, your edge operations, or your change management process? Which one most limits your roadmap today? Your answer to that question, that's your starting point for 2025.